Hello, I'm Ellie Hawes and welcome to In Her League, the podcast that digs deeper into stories, struggles and triumphs shaping women's sport. From navigating male-dominated arenas to celebrating the athletes who are redefining excellence, we bring you honest conversations, sharp reporting and the voices driving change on and off the pitch. This is where inspiring journeys meet the hard-hitting truths, all to empower the next generation of women in sport. Because she's not just playing the game, she's running it. On today's episode, we are joined by Katie Bevans, Cardiff Met's starting scrum half. But before we get into that, here are the stories coming out of women's sport this week. Chelsea and England goalkeeper Hannah Hampton has been voted for the BBC's Women's Footballer of the Year, following her outstanding performance in the Lionesses' journey to the Euros victory earlier this year, and winning the domestic treble with Chelsea last season. Crystal Palace midfielder Ruisha Littlejohn faces an extended ban after putting Leicester City's Hannah Kane in a headlock during the League Cup game on Sunday. The incident occurred in the 90th minute, with Palace leading 3-0, and the initial altercation not involving Littlejohn at all. Over in the Vitality Netball International Series, New Zealand have claimed the title with a 49-55 victory over England. Netball Performance League action returned last weekend, with London Pulse looking to retain their titles in both the under-19s and under-17s competitions. Premiership Women's Rugby has launched a high-performance referee programme in the hopes of increasing the number of female referees in the game. Capitalising on the Red Roses' success at the World Cup earlier this year, the programme aims to keep girls in the sport by trying to bridge the gap in refereeing and driving change and positivity towards women's rugby, says programme leader, referee and ex-Harlequins player Hollywood. Okay, so today we are joined by Cardiff Met Women's and Gwalia Lightning player Katie Bevans. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, I can say no.
So we're going to start talking about how you got into rugby, like where your love for it came from. So if I can ask you, first question is, when did rugby come into your life and who is your biggest inspiration?
Okay. To be honest, it come in, I say quite late. It wasn't that late. It was more like comprehensive. Like I wasn't one of those people who started when I was younger and was playing with the boys. I was more of a comprehensive starter. I grew up playing loads of like other sports compared to rugby. Like I used to do swimming, dancing, gymnastics, football.
Couldn't get more different.
I know. But then like it got to a point where I couldn't obviously continue all those sports because it's unrealistic. Yeah. But so people all around me were playing football. So I joined the football club, started basically playing football, and then everyone around me was like, "You're too physical for football." Like I would always drop the shoulder in and be the one.
Shock me.
Yeah, honestly. and then like I'd have people from, like I knew someone from like a local rugby club who would also like say if I seen her in Lidl's, she would come up to me and approach me and be like, "Can you come play rugby now, please?" and everything. So,
she got scouted.
Yeah, literally. But started off with football and then moved over to rugby.
So like nice. How old were you when you like properly started playing?
Probably started 13, 14, around that.
So was it like, had it been a thing in your family before, or was it just you decided that that's what you wanted to do?
No, it was me, like my brother and my dad both grew up playing rugby. Mm-hmm. Like me and my brother not me and my brother. My dad and my brother obviously play rugby. My brother started off playing rugby football and everything. But like I didn't really think of them playing rugby as me playing rugby, do you know what I mean? And so I just come up in school and I just started playing, which is quite fun.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Love that. Okay, and then so growing up as a young teenager, what was the access to rugby like for you? Like were you playing with the boys at school, or do you have your own teams? To
be fair, I think in my school it was quite good because we had a rugby hub officer. Mm-hmm. So like that meant like someone was focused and dedicated to rugby. So obviously he worked with the boys, but then even before me, there was a girls team. It probably like fluctuated between whether they played or not and interest in different years. But luckily when I was there was interest from the year above. So like, say I started in year 9, there was interest from year 10. And then year 9 obviously, so we created like a year 9, year 10 team, and we were playing schools around us like Blackwood, who else? I can't remember off the top of my head, but we were playing schools around us, so there were other teams, girls teams local to us that we could go and play, which was quite nice.
Amazing.
So yeah, it was just
Yeah.
like...
Would you say that like growing up in Wales, rugby for girls was way more accessible, and like there was more girls teams around? Because when I was at school, there was like none. So bad.
But yeah, to be fair, there was quite a few around us, and like even outside of schools, there was rugby teams around, which is quite nice actually. Like they were already set up. I don't know how long they'd been running for, but they were already set up and running and going, so that was quite nice. But yeah, I think it was very accessible, like especially having a rugby officer in your school helped a lot.
Absolutely.
Because it just meant then the focus was rugby. Do you get me? So it was quite nice, and I think it is very accessible.
Awesome. And then, so you say it's very accessible, but did you face any barriers when you were at school at all?
Not really. Like there was times when me and some of the girls were of age to play with the boys. Like we could have played with the boys. Like we got asked before, and but I wouldn't really say so. Like it was no like the boys wouldn't take the mickey out of us or anything. Like there would be times when we'd play like tournament and the boys would play the same time as us, if that makes sense. So we'd all be together, and like there's like we've got group pictures of all of us together, and I think my year group especially was quite good for not taking the mickey somehow, and I don't know why, but all I can remember is that
lucky.
Very lucky. But I mean, we probably got taken the mickey out of for like, oh, you play rugby, you're the stereotypical, oh, you're a lesbian and everything. But other than that, they wouldn't really, like, we were playing sport, do you know what I mean? So they didn't really care.
Yeah. So following on from what you said about the stereotypes, there's obviously absolutely loads of stereotypes around female rugby players. So how did you, like, manage the people that did come at you with those stereotypes?
I don't know really. I think you've just not got to pay attention. You just got to go on with your life. Like, obviously the stereotype is you're very masculine and like you're so like physically you're very lean, but like, do you know what I mean? Like you've got broader shoulders than most girls around you. You get called a lesbian for playing the sport, even though like it shouldn't be.
Absolutely.
I don't explain it, but it shouldn't be like that at all. But like I think you just got kind of like just go about like I don't know, like I've heard someone say before, like you just got to enjoy the fact, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like, okay, so you think I'm quite like you think I'm strong, you think,
take that as a compliment.
Literally, like it is that.
And you are.
It is really hard to like, because some people obviously I think struggle to manage it, whereas you just got to think, okay, thanks, appreciate it, try.
I like that mindset. And so following on from that, would you say that there's quite a strong community in women's rugby?
100%. I think because we've all kind of gone through the same things, like growing up, we've all went through like the things of potentially not having a club to play with and playing with the boys, or we've all gone through similar aspects of struggling with body image and like the way we look, I think, and everything is like, because boys kind of just, I don't know how to explain it, but they just get on with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're a big boy, obviously, like what, like you don't get taken the mickey out of. Whereas if you're a bigger girl, whereas as a bit like, I think it just kind of it can mess with us mentally a lot. I'm not saying boys can't, but it messes girls mentally, physically. It's draining.
It's nice to have other girls that have been through it and are there for you and will be there to like if it happens to you with them, they can be there to support you. And I think that's really important, especially in keeping girls in a sport. If they feel like they have a safe space, it makes all the difference. Because I know with gymnastics you do not have that, and it is because it's such a perfection sport. If you don't meet that standard, you haven't got that supportive community around you, because again, it's not a team sport. So you are very much out on your own. I can only imagine how nice it must be to have a group of girls that are there for you.
And also what's nice is obviously in gymnastics there's this look of perfection. In rugby there's not. There's no expectation.
Exactly.
Like it literally is, no matter what you look like, it doesn't matter what you look like, as long as you were on the pitch performing.
That's all that matters.
No one cares. No one cares at all.
Now I want you to big yourself up a little bit. I want you to talk about your achievements, because at the age of 20 you have like your achievements are like through the roof. So I obviously know that you have played in the Youth Commonwealth Games representing Wales, and I want you to talk to us a little bit about that. How was the experience? What does it mean for you to have that opportunity?
Honestly, it was basically the summer of 2023. So I just finished Wales under 18s. That was my first ever Welsh cap ever playing for Wales. And then in the summer then, we started doing a lot more sevens and everything. So we got, like, some of the girls got picked up through obviously under 18s and everything, and got selected for the sevens camp. Went through a couple of weeks of camp, and then we went, well, first off we played in Poland. And I know, it takes you everywhere. Rugby takes you everywhere. It's so scary. We played in Poland, and it was like, so like there's something called the Rugby Championship and Rugby Trophy. So we played, I believe, in the Rugby Trophy against Portugal, Turkey, I don't even know who else, a couple of other teams. And then we qualified, which is actually really sad. We qualified to then, like, we won the whole thing. Yeah. And then we qualified to then go to the Rugby Championship, which is against higher teams again. But they stopped doing it this year. Oh. I know, honestly. But anyway, and then later in that summer then, we obviously were still training and everything because the Youth Commonwealth Games were coming up. So we then went there. It was in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. Honestly, it was stunning.
That's insane.
It was so hard to play rugby in it, those sevens. Yeah. It was tricky. Like, the, what's the word called? I don't know. The humidity? The humidity and everything. Like, oh my God. Like, my parents come out with me, which is quite nice. But yeah, it was such an unreal experience. Like, they couldn't deal with the sweat, but it was insane. Yeah. And
big change from Wales.
Yes, extremely big change. But we played teams like, we played Canada, Australia, Trinidad and Tobago, Kenya and Fiji. And then it was us, so there was 6 teams.
So all used to playing in the heat.
Yeah, literally. We're the only, are we Northern or Southern Hemisphere?
Northern, Canada are as well, though.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that. Yeah.
Sorry.
But it was such a surreal experience. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it was mad. It was so nice. And, like, to be there with a good group of girls and everything, it was just lovely. It was really nice.
Such a, like, incredible opportunity for young people to have.
I know.
Especially because I feel like Wales gets overlooked. And having the opportunity to go and play against teams like Australia and Canada is, like, that's, like, a kid's, like, biggest dream. Yeah. Like, that's incredible.
Pardon me. But the sad thing is, like, before, like, going into that camp, I didn't know what it was or anything. Like, I didn't know about that opportunity at all, which is quite sad. Like, I mean, obviously it's not a public thing to know about opportunities and everything, but do you know what I mean? And
it should have more, especially, like, it should have more coverage, because I don't think, I didn't really know that there was a youth version. Even the big Commonwealth Games isn't, I feel like it's not as big as it should be. No,
it's really not. And I don't know why it's not.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I say a miniature Olympics, but it's kind of like
it's the same level of competition as the Olympics. It's international. It's just not got America in it.
No, literally. So I don't know why it hasn't got much recognition, but yeah, like, I know a couple of people. Like, we've interviewed someone and he was there with me at the Youth Commonwealth Games, and it's such a mad experience to know that he goes to Met.
Yeah.
And I'm here at Met as well, and, like, we've crossed paths, but he probably doesn't even know who I am, sadly. But it's really weird how you also see it like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that makes any sense, but...
Okay, and as it's coming up to Celtic Challenge season, I would like you to tell us a bit about that, because before, like, you spoke to me about it, I had no idea what it was. I know it's relatively new.
Yeah.
So please share.
I think I don't even know. It's been officially running for 3 years now. This is the 3rd year of Celtic, but I think before it was a bit of a trial run.
Right.
So, like, it had a trial run they wanted to do it, so now it's continued on and grown. I think this year they've introduced like a knockout stage. Okay. So like you play all your teams, and then at the end of the like all your teams you've played, you like have a knockout stage, which is quite cool actually. But basically Celtic is I'd still say quite new, relatively new, and up and coming rugby tournament. It's got 2 teams from Wales, which is Gwalia and Brython, and then you've got 2 teams from Scotland, Edinburgh and Glasgow, and you've got 2 teams from Ireland, which is one's called Clovers and one is silly me, I can't remember the other one, but and Wolfhounds. There you go. There we go. But basically, it's kind of, I say our version, but it's a different, like it's separate from the PWR, because obviously that's established. That's been established for many years. Whereas this is something for people in like rugby players in Wales, Ireland, and Scotland to have their own,
the same opportunities.
Yeah. But what I found out is that they've set this up for people, for the internationals, the Welsh, the Scottish and the Irish, to play within their team, because Ireland's 2 teams are full of their international team. Yeah. So like us younger ones have like bridged the gap. Yeah, so we've had to slot in the Celtic thing. And when you actually think of it, we're playing against the Irish international team.
Which is wild.
And it's like when you actually think, you're thinking, what? Mm-hmm. No one, like in the nicest way, like there's been times when we've got an absolute thrashing, but you wonder why. Yeah. I'm sorry, you wonder why.
There's no wonder they want it.
No, literally. But I mean, it's a good opportunity for us younger ones to come through because obviously most girls go across the border. So it's a good way to keep players in Wales compared to them going across the border.
Absolutely. And I read a stat, I think it was 65 Celtic players went on to play in the Women's World Cup this year.
Really?
Or in the training squad. Yeah. It was quite a high number.
I was going to say there's quite a few girls.
Incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
And it's such a good chance for girls like you who don't play elite international to play international games.
Like I know there's been one of the girls I play with, Courtney Greenway. She come from nothing basically. Like she was playing rugby. She's a PE teacher. Mm-hmm. Come from nothing. She was playing in a local club. She thought, do you know what? They run like an open trial, so you can still trial for Celtic. So she went to one of those, got picked up and selected, whatever. So she's been playing with Gwalia. She played last year. I can't remember if she played the year before, but I think last year was her first year, and she's coming into her second year now. She's a PE teacher, and currently she is in Dubai with GB7s.
Wow.
Like this trying like it
opens so many doors.
And
absolutely.
like 2 years ago she wouldn't think that at all. You wouldn't think that that's come from that.
And I think that's one of the things that gets overlooked about women's rugby is in some countries it's not professional, and England may be a step ahead, but that's because we have the money for it. And I think it's so important to recognise that female rugby players have jobs. They are real people and they don't just play rugby. Literally. And that is why their achievements are so incredible when you compare it with the men. And obviously men's rugby got professionalised way later than football did, but it was still a long time ago in comparison. And the fact that there are people who are out there who are playing professional standard international rugby and go home to their teaching jobs on during the week is just like incredible.
Like I'm pretty sure probably most of the PWR girls have got normal jobs, but then they go train in the evening and everything. Like it just shows our dedication and everything to wanting to play the sport we love.
And it's like, it makes me think of, so the Canadian rugby team crowdfunded their way to the World Cup and they got to the final. Like, that achievement in itself is insane. And the fact that they had to get donations to get there, it shows how far back women's rugby is. And it's such a shame, because I personally think the standard is like insanely high. I prefer watching women's rugby because you're actually watching rugby, and it's just knowing that you guys aren't professional, it's just like crazy.
And I think like we done After one of our under-20s like campaigns or whatever, we done like a transatlantic kind of series. So we played USA and Canada, and like luckily us Welsh girls, we didn't have to pay a penny towards it. We haven't had to pay a penny towards anything. But I don't know if it's both USA and Canada or if it's just Canada, but they had to pay a certain amount. They had to pay for it.
Yeah. And
I don't know if they could keep any, like, I think we kit swapped with some of them, but obviously I don't know if that was the kit they could have kept.
Yeah.
Because I think some of them were like, they had to pay for their kit as well. Do you know what I mean? God. So, like, it just shows that we are in a privileged position, even if it's still not as big as we want it to be, but we are still in a very privileged position compared to other
absolutely
places.
Moving on slightly from Celtic, you obviously play for Cardiff Met, won the Bucks League last year, reigning champs. And I just want to ask you a bit about uni rugby, because obviously it is going to be different to internationals and like Gwalia and stuff. But how do you feel like playing for your university? Like, what's it like?
No, I think uni rugby is very freeing. Like, for me anyway, like, I enjoy playing uni rugby because, like, don't get me wrong, I love, obviously, like, playing Celtic and Welsh rugby is such a privilege and honour or whatever. But, like, uni rugby is so free, and, like, you can do what, like, I say do what you want, but you can sort of play how you want, and, like, you're not going to get a row for it. Like, you can try new things, and, like, if it doesn't go your way, no one's going to turn around and have a go at you or whatever. But no, I think uni rugby is such a this sounds cringe, but like a sacred thing. Like, it happens for 3 years of your life.
You've got to enjoy it whilst it lasts.
Like, it's so hard to then go out and probably find another club or do whatever. Like, it's such a good tight-knit pack. Like, obviously you have freshers coming in and everything, but you go through the different phases.
You do it all together.
Like, I mean, obviously after last year winning, that was such a mad feeling. I don't even know how we did it.
I know.
We weren't meant to do it, but we did. I think last year was such like a insane like first year of uni.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like obviously coming into second year now, it's a bit trickier, I think, with the expectation of
it must be
everything. Like, obviously we lost a couple of players last year. Like, we lost Sarah Singleton, who was my position, so it's hard to fill her shoes, and like having to play probably more game time and everything, but it's hard to fill shoes. I think that's a difficult thing as well.
But I think given that, so the first team obviously playing the BSR, so it's the top, how many teams is it?
Oh, like 7, 8, I think. Is there about
the
that?
top, let's say 8 teams, university teams in the country.
I don't know.
In Wales, England.
Something.
You're still playing incredible quality. Like, you've obviously got, the Met team has 2 girls that play for Bristol Bears. You had Sarah Singleton, who played for Wales. Yeah,
but she's played, like, most of us girls in the first team for Met have got Welsh caps, as in like pathway Welsh caps, and like a couple of the girls has been picked up for PWR teams and everything. So there's like incredible depth, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And like I don't know, but
it's really nice to see how the twos team has increased, because they've got an insane amount of players, and it's nice to see that women's rugby at Cardiff Met is increasing in popularity. And I think, and I'm not just saying this to toot your horn, but I think your win last year would have made a huge difference to inspiring freshers who may have never played rugby before to just come in and give it a go. And I think that's such an important thing for you to be able to say that you've played a part in that.
And like, I know for a fact that we are trying to set up a third team for the girls, because we have so many people who turn up to training every week, and sadly they're not playing for the ones or the twos, but they're like, we want to try and get them playing. So I know that they're trying to set up a third team that plays on like a Sunday league, and just plays the local teams around, which I think will keep girls as well.
Absolutely.
Because obviously it's quite hard training when you're not playing. Like it does kind of think, what am I doing it for? So it kind of gives them an aim to play as well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're probably going to try and aim for 2s and 1s and everything. But I think it gives them
time
something.
is good time.
Yeah, literally. But it gives them something to look forward to, which is quite nice. So.
Okay, so I want to ask you about your game in particular. And obviously playing in the 9 is not an easy job.
No.
You don't get a break.
No.
You're everywhere.
No.
It's challenging in so many ways, but what is it that you love about it so much?
I mean, to be fair, I started off as like a 10 when I was younger. Like they didn't really play positions, but it was more of like a 10 playmaker kind of vibe. But a nice thing, and I don't know how I've ended up playing 9, but my dad also played 9 and so did my brother.
It's in your blood.
So it's kind of gone
that's
in.
so lovely.
Yeah. So I've kind of followed in their footsteps. I didn't mean to, but it's just happened that way.
Yeah.
But no, like I think 9 is a very hard position because I mean the game's not on you, but like if you have a good game, I feel like it kind of helps. Like if you have a poor game, it is kind of hard for people to play off of you and like set anything up. Like it can be challenging. Like you have to know your game. Yeah. Like you have to be aware of what's going on and like everything.
You'll
like,
be everywhere at once.
Yeah. Like it's so hard, like especially like you have so many people trying to talk to you in the phases of play. Like you've got to be switched on and like you've got to be quite knowledgeable for it.
What do you think are the biggest lessons that rugby has taught you over the years?
I think to not put too much pressure on yourself. Yeah. Like if like something doesn't work out, it doesn't matter. Move on, like fix it, move on, don't dwell on it. Yeah. Because a lot of things are going to happen. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be just tons of different situations. It's just like, don't put pressure on yourself. Just enjoy it. Yeah. Don't take it too seriously.
And then, so I just want to kind of touch on the future. So in the next few years, where do you see yourself? What kind of goals feel attainable to you right now?
I mean, right now, I kind of just want to just enjoy uni rugby. Like, there's been times when I think when you kind of fall out of love with your sports, you're just like trying to get back. Yeah. I think that's something for me right now. Like, I'm just trying to enjoy uni rugby, not put pressure on myself. I'm just going to enjoy it and see how it goes. And then, I mean, hopefully in the future, maybe one day, I think a bit of me would like to get my senior Welsh cap because I've done under 18s and under 20s. So it would be extremely nice.
The perfect thing to top off what you've already done.
But I don't want to put that, like, that's not the be all or end all for me. Yeah. Like, I know that sadly that I probably need a backup option potentially. I mean, hopefully in the next couple of years, maybe not, but rugby isn't the be all or end all for me. Yeah. But I mean, for some people it is. But I think for me, the minute is just enjoying rugby, seeing where it takes me, and if it doesn't take me, like, if it doesn't see me like getting my Welsh captain, so be it. That's the way it is, and that's the way it's worked out.
You've still technically got 2.
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah. Also,
it's more than most people.
Yeah, I was gutted. We didn't get a cap for Sevens.
Ah,
don't. It really. Oh my god, that really upset
that's
me.
Cheeky.
I know, but I've got my jerseys for it, so
and
it kind of
counts.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But yeah.
And then, where do you see women's rugby going next?
That's a great question. I don't really know. I think the World Cup has like really taken it far.
Absolutely.
Like, it's driven women's rugby to the next level. And I think for Welsh rugby, I mean, this is more media based, but I'd like to see Red Roses have their own Instagram account.
So that's only recent.
Yeah. So I'd like to see that happening more within the
definitely
tons of like, so like a media thing. I'd like to see that happening more.
It doesn't help because obviously so many people our age are so active on social media, and if you're not seeing women's rugby or women's sport in general on social media, then how are we supposed to know how to follow it, how to like get involved? And the fact that the Red Roses only got their Instagram account just before the World Cup, a few months before, that is just crazy.
But then like look how much they've built that up just from like in a couple of months.
It shows how vital social media is in promoting women's sport.
And like it's nice to see at the minute, like this is so random, but my mum and a couple of her mates have gone, pardon me, even without me, to watch some of the Six Nation games of the women's, and it's just like it's nice to know that they're doing it without me. And you see a lot of families and everything in the crowd now, and like older women going to watch. Like it's probably something that they probably wanted to do when they were younger but didn't get the chance, and now they're thinking, oh,
no, I can.
It's actually like I can just go watch it. I can just like say, I don't know, but yeah, it's quite nice to see that. But I just
having an increased like media presence is opening so many doors for, like you say, rugby fans of all ages. Because I know, so I went to the World Cup final, and the amount of families that I saw there in comparison to some of the men's games I've been to, but also older women who I'm going to assume have loved rugby their whole lives in, and now are only getting the opportunity to be involved in something they want to be involved in, it's so magical, because everybody really like deeply enjoys it, and you're not just there for the sake of it. Everybody that I encountered at the World Cup was just so passionate about women's rugby, and that is such a good sign for the future. And I think developing that passion in young girls, like you, starting at school, it's so important for the development of women's rugby in like as a whole. So in terms of future impact, research shows that, let me get my facts right, by the age 17 to 18, only 30% of girls would describe themselves as sporty, in comparison to 43 who saw themselves as sporty at primary school. So the dropout rate of girls in sport at teenagers is incredibly high. So what do you think needs to be done at grassroots level to keep girls in rugby?
Well, I think obviously the main reason they drop off is because of puberty. They get, I think we just become a lot more aware about everything.
Definitely.
Some reason, I don't know what it is, but we just become so much more. We become so much more aware about everything around us, and like what, like we start to care. Because I know there's like, when I was in school, there were so many girls that used to do sports, but then obviously dropped out when coming up. But I think it's just trying to, I mean, maybe not put pressure on us girls to get, like, obviously put it out there, but maybe not pressure us into doing it, because I think that will deter them away even more. But just remind them, like, it's open, you're more than welcome to join. Bring if you're scared, bring friends. That does help. I think around me, a lot of my mates in school were sporty, which is quite lucky. And like my year group, like the girls in that year group grew up doing sports, so I think that helped. And obviously I think now, I don't know if sport is as recognised. I think it is, but it's not, because obviously the influence of social media and everything, you do see like the girly influencers, the vloggers, but then I don't know how much they see of the sporting side of everything. But I don't know, I think maybe not put pressure on them to
have to do
but I think also just bring it up to them and say, the door's open.
I think it's important to let girls know that it's there if they want it, but there's no expectation of them, but they also won't be turned away. And I think a lot of girls are just too scared that they're going to get turned away from sport, even though they love it. And when they get to older ages, people start making comments about it, and which is such a shame, because there are so many girls that I know that loved sport growing up and were just then too scared as they got older. But I do think going to university and having all of those opportunities at the, like, on your doorstep is such an incredible experience, because I never would have done cheerleading if I hadn't come to uni. And I know that's only minor, but there are so many girls that have picked up a sport as a result of being at uni that probably wouldn't have done it elsewhere. And and social media as well. I think there's, like you say, there's so many people on Instagram and whatnot claiming to be perfect, when in reality that's not real. Yeah. And I think it's important for girls to see that it's okay for us to get a bit muddy. Yeah. We don't have to be clean girl all the time. No. Getting muddy is fun. Yeah. And enjoying a sport is fun. And I think it's just important that they know that.
But I also think at younger ages, like nowadays, obviously, loads of kids have iPads, phones and everything. Whereas when I was younger, I did have an iPad, but I would go out and play in the street. Do you know what I mean? Like around me, we'd be out playing in the street, whereas I don't know how much that happens anymore. Yeah. So I think social media has a big impact on everything around us at the minute.
So many ways.
Yes, 100%.
Lovely. And if you could speak to your younger self right now, what would you, just starting out her rugby journey, what would you say to her?
Enjoy every moment, even if it doesn't go your way, because a lot of things haven't, even though it seems like it has. But even if it doesn't go your way, just continue, just enjoy, move past it, and just
make the most.
Yeah.
I think that's important in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
Just, it's so important to make the most of the experiences that you're offered.
Yeah.
And not be too scared to do it. And I know that's so much easier said than done, but if I was too scared to do half of the things I've done, I never would have got anywhere.
No, exactly. And like, I've had so many amazing opportunities which I never thought would have come at when I was 13, 14 in school.
Who would have thought,
going having fun.
However many years later, you were 2 caps for Wales.
Yeah, like it's scary. Like it was just, it's mad when you actually look back at it and reflect. It's like, oh my god, you've done all that and you've travelled to so many places that I never thought I would have been. Like without the opportunities of sport, I wouldn't have travelled to some of the places I've been, which is mad, but yeah.
Right, and finally, to round up this interview, I just want to hear your thoughts on what it means to be part of such a fast-growing sport for women.
I think it's very special, and like, I don't think I ever thought that rugby could be what it is today. But I don't know, it's such like I don't know how to explain, but it's just like a nice feeling. Like it's nice to see that women's rugby, and obviously women's sport is like growing, and it's growing quite fiercely, especially after the World Cup. And it's just so nice to see so many younger girls getting involved, playing, like they don't care. Like girls are starting to not care about outside perceptions and everything. And it's so nice just starting to see it just continue. And like there's so many girls around me who are younger than me and like who are playing for like international teams and everything. Like it's just mad. It's so nice to see. So yeah.
Amazing. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I've loved hearing all this new stuff and hearing about your experiences and your take on women's sport. I think it's so important that these stories get shared, because people wouldn't know. People would walk past you in the corridor and have absolutely no idea what you've been through and the dedication that it's taken for you to get to this point. And it's lovely to be able to share that with people. So thank you very much for joining.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
In our next episode, we sit down with Kyra Liddington, dancer, gymnast and cheerleader, to explore the dedication, discipline and artistry behind her journey. We talk about what it meant to represent Wales at the Dance World Cup, how she carried that drive into becoming national champs with Cardiff Met Archers, and the path that took her from a lifelong gymnastics career into the high-energy world of cheerleading when she joined university. Join us next week, same time, same place, as we dive into the intense world of perfection, sparkles and stereotypes. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of In Her League. A huge thank you to Katie Bevans for sharing her journey from breaking into rugby at a young age to representing at elite levels, to carving out her voice in a space that hasn't always made space for women. Her honesty, resilience and passion reminds us of exactly why these conversations matter. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to follow and share. It helps us to shine the much needed light on incredible women changing the game from the inside out. Come back next week as we continue to share the stories that prove she's not just playing the game, she's running it.